We got something a little bit different today in EU Cash Cup Finals review only. If you guys didn't know, the NA Finals is not actually until Monday, and we only got the EU Finals today, so something a little bit different, but we still had a lot of dramas. Our first look at some brand new duos splitting up after this tournament as well, and a pretty surprising winner too. Real quick before this video starts though, please subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we try our best to upload daily competitive content for you guys. If you guys want to support me even more, far and away the best way to do so is by using code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop. We're continuing to shout out people every single video that DM me proof of them using my code, so shout out to these few people on the screen right here. Thank you guys so much for the support. Make sure you guys follow me on my Twitch or come back here on the day of finals if you guys want to watch the finals of any of these tournaments with me. Without further ado though, we're gonna be starting off with on EU with the duo that was able to take home the win. We only have one Cash Cup left after this, and Focus and Thomas HD won their first Div Cup finals together. They finished with 302 points, were not able to win any games, but did also finish with the most elims in this entire tournament, getting 29 total elims, and this was while being in a lobby with a bunch of other really good fraggers. Focus and Thomas HD they do kind of have a weird track history now of being a duo. They tried out together in an eval cup like 2 weeks ago. They were then supposed to play the Div Cup together, but Focus ended up actually sleeping in for it, and so they completely missed it. They played the Div Cup 2 days ago and were able to win a game in it, and then I was honestly completely bought in to the Focus and Thomas HD hype train. I put them in my top 5 predictions, but I did not expect them to pull off a win, but they were able to do just that. Super happy for Thomas HD, man. It seemed like his stocks were really just going down. He really struggled when he played with Queasy, and then he didn't really have any super good duo options besides that. And for Thomas especially, as being a player that is definitely contemplated with quitting the game after the pretty rough year that he's had all year so far, this Cash Cup win has to feel so good for him, and I am so happy for this duo. Second place is another super underrated duo that also won a game in the eval cup a couple of days ago, of As It Go and iFraze. They finished with 295 points, won 1 out of their 6 matches, and actually tied for the second most elims, getting 28 total elims. Maybe this is going to be an underrated duo to look out for in the future of EU. Third place, another duo that is finally back on the top of the Div Cup leaderboards. Trulex and Chicho finished with 282 points and 19 total elims. Honestly, a little bit surprised with that elim number. You guys know Trulex and Chicho, not necessarily known for being like the fraggiest duo. Fourth place was actually the Cash Cup winners of last week, of Shark and Teeny on 266. They didn't win any games today, but did get 28 total elims. These guys, I didn't predict them to finish inside of my top 5 because they were supposed to be conned once again today, but they ended up being fully uncontested for the last couple of games in this tournament. Their match history today though was not really that consistent. Their best games were a 6 elim 8th and a 6 elim 4th. Still, I do think that they are a super good duo, and with all of these snake season stuff that's gonna happen, I would be a little bit surprised if they ended up splitting. 5th place is Dinas and Firen on 254. 6th place is Yarko. 7th place is Maxi King. 8th place is actually Walks and Pixie on 204. Now, I honestly have to say that I was pretty impressed with Walks and Pixie today, figuring that they got 8th place out of the situation that they were actually in, being triple contested. They started off this tournament so strong. Literally after game number 2, they were in first place on the overall leaderboard, getting a 10 elim second and a 9 elim second. But then after that, them being triple contested, it just really goes to show how hard it is to place out of that. But this was a positive step in the right direction for Walks and Pixie, and I'm curious on if they are going to be able to ride out this momentum now into next week's Cash Cup as well, because I am so close to starting to want to believe in Walks and Pixie once again, because the potential of this duo always has to be potentially being able to win an FNCS, and they seem like they are wanting to stick together through the current rough patches that they are in, but also, like I just said, with all of these snake season stuff that is happening around them, I don't doubt at all that some super good player is DMing either Walks or Pixie to try to pick them up to make them split with each other. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. 9th place is Pix and Scroll on 203. Also not really too sure what is going on with Pix and Scroll, if they are going to be sticking together. If you guys remember, Mr. Savage was actually playing with Scroll. Pix and Scroll though, they even ended up tweeting out, got 3 0-point games because we at the worst spot. So I don't know if Scroll is still like positive about their future outlook as a duo together with him in picks, and if they still meshed well and they think that they can place better in the future if they get a better drop spot. They did win a game today though. They got a 3 elimination 9th, 5 elim win, and a 7 elim 8th. So they didn't even necessarily play that bad, and it seems like Mr. Savage is probably not going to be back for next week's tournaments as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did see Pix and Scroll run it back. And then rounding out the top 10 was Rax and Yanis on 194. For us, some of our other big names did today, we have like 11th place of Seti and Demas on 193, 12th place of Chap and Flixie on 190. Another kind of disappointing tournament performance out of them. This has been another one of the duos that is actually getting put in new duo rumors now as well. Maybe there's a potential that we get to see a Flixie and Vico reuniting, but I still think the potential of Chap and Flixie is just so high that even though they've had a rough couple of last tournaments, I don't think they're going to split because of it. Another duo that just had some really unfortunate stuff happen to them today was 15th place of Swizzy and Vanya on 163. They started off this tournament so strong, getting a 12 elim win and a 1 elim 7th. They then ended up getting contested off spawn, and I'm not gonna lie, their off spawn so far this season has not been good if we're just being real. They ended up dying off spawn like 3 games in a row after that. Vanya even ended up tweeting out the placement of the duo that was contesting them off spawn, and they finished in 46th place. I mean, man, I still think that Swizzy and Vanya can be such a good duo, but they clearly do just need to be uncontested in a finals. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to win tournaments or play super highly when they are contested. Maybe it's a drop spot thing, and in the future when they're at a completely new drop spot, when we're on the chapter 7 map and things like that, then maybe some things will be different. But I am still super high on them just based on what they have shown us in games that they're either able to win off spawn or get fully uncontested. But after their first game where they got a 12 elim win, they only got 3 elims for the rest of the tournament. Another duo that unfortunately was also con today was 18th place of Chino and Vino. They only really had one good game today, which was the second game of the day where they got a 7 elim win. Vino ended up tweeting out double conned game 6 and single conned game 5 by last place. I don't know what it is with all of these big name EU duos literally just getting surprise conned by different like really unknown teams, because I'm not gonna lie, after like the first 3 games of the tournament, the leaderboard was so stacked in the top 10, but then just slowly over time, a lot of these duos started to fall out of it. 20th place, we had Moneymaker and Fanayan. This duo placed top 5 last week, but then fell to 20th this week. Darman Blaha in 21st, Cammy and Hari in 23rd, another duo that was unfortunately contested off spawn today. They didn't get a single game inside of the top 10. In 26th place, this is where some of our drama is actually starting, because Sky and Marius had once again yet another disappointing tournament, finishing with only 122 points in 6 matches and 14 total elims. If you've watched any of my EU coverage throughout this season, you guys know that I have said Sky and Marius every single opens look super good. They're able to consistently qualify for finals, but then in basically every single set lobby finals they make, they seem to do absolutely nothing. And they were actually one of the duos to finally call it quits for playing with each other on EU, and Sky and Marius decided to split up. And then not even an hour after the tournament ended, iDrop tweeted out 2026 with him and Marius. So yes, that means that Vico is now currently duoless, Sky is currently duoless. I think iDrop and Marius are going to mesh a lot better playstyle wise compared to iDrop and Vico. It seems like Vico still wants to be super aggressive and play kind of his similar playstyle to what he played in trios with Vino and Flixie. But you know, iDrop in trios was playing with Cammy and Hari, and Marius was playing with Vanya and Pixie, and so these two are both just surge trading type of players. iDrop and Marius, they're going to be able to sit in surge bases, and their playstyles should just work and mesh a lot better together. So on paper, it does seem like iDrop and Marius are going to be a better duo. But of course, we're literally just gonna have to see what happens. Literally when Sky and Marius formed together, I was like, oh yeah, obviously Sky is gonna drop Scroll for Marius. That's like a clear upgrade, and then they literally did nothing together. But I'm still excited to see what iDrop and Marius can do. What does that actually leave for Vico now? Literally, as I was recording this video, I was talking to Vico about who his new duo options could be, and then he tweeted out 2026 with Malabuka. So this is a very interesting duo right right here. I mean, Malibuca and Panzer weren't even necessarily looking that bad. Of course, you guys know they weren't able to qualify for this Div Cup finals, but hey, Vico and Malibuca, I'm excited to see what these guys can do. I don't think very many people necessarily expected this one right here. Let me know what you guys think about this duo in the comments below. I think Malibuca is almost starting to become kind of like an underrated player. I'm interested to see on how their playstyles actually mesh together. But now that also leaves Panzer with no duo. There is a couple of different names that I've seen get thrown around. Of course, like Mr. Savage. You have Seti, who we played with before, and Seti and Demas have kind of been struggling. We're just gonna have to wait and see how all of this plays out, man. Literally, as of me recording this, there is just so many things coming out. Continuing on with the rest of the leaderboard though, we had 28th place of Ping and Kiro, 29th place of Vidil and Rezon. These guys were contested off spawn though, so they do have an excuse for their rough placement today. And then that was about it for all of our big names today. Hey bro, we got a lot of new, very exciting duos. Let's of course though, move on to the final statistics from today. The highest damage ratio was iFraze with a 1.89. Right under him was Thomas HD with a 1.81, then Chicho in third. And then the most damage and elims was Thomas HD with 5,110 damage and 16 total elims. I feel like I say this a lot, but whenever I saw Thomas HD in finals lobbies, he was still always relatively at the top of the leaderboards in terms of statistics, and that is why I was not ready to give up on Thomas as a player yet. I literally saw hot takes in one of the videos that we did that said like Thomas HD needs to retire and give up, he's ruining his legacy and things like that. This is the perfect comeback that Thomas could have had to that. Second place was Shark with 13 elims, third was Focus, fourth was Walks, fifth place, I don't know who this is, I'm sorry, sixth place was Chicho, seventh was Velo, eighth was Azit, ninth place was Flixie, and then 10th was Faded. The most assists was Fraze, and then here's all of the other statistics as well if you guys care about any of these. Man, we had a lot to talk about on EU today. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comment section down below. Remember though, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we try our best to upload daily competitive content for you guys. NA is on Monday, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that video. Please use code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop if you guys want to support me even more. YouTube says enjoy one of these videos up on the screen right now, so go check them out if you guys haven't already. Thank God for another day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.